Hi everyone, and thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. So in this video, I will tell you about the steps you can follow for deploying a Django application on a Windows IIS server. Fine, so this is my server which is there on AWS, and this is the IP of the server, and if you see currently I'm able to access the Django application I have on the server through this IP in a browser which is present on my local. Right now, how I did that, that is what I'm going to show you. So stay tuned with me. Do not skip any part of this video and watch this video completely from the beginning till the end and follow the steps and just check out whether you're able to deploy the application on a Windows IIS server following the steps I'm going to show you in this video or not. In case you come across any issues, you can let me know about them in the description section below. Fine. So coming to the IIS server first, the first thing that you have to do is you have to set up the IIS. Now, once you're done with developing or deploying a Windows IIS server on any cloud computing platform, whether it is Azure, GCP, or AWS, the first thing you have to do is setting up of IIS. Now, how you will do it? So here you have to come on Server Manager, okay, which will open for you a screen like this. Now here you have to come on manage and simply come on add roles and features. And now I'm going to show you the options which you have to select for your application to be successfully deployed on Windows IIS. Now coming on, you have to click on next, then next, and here on the first window you have to select these options. Okay, so let me just open them. Fine, and then we have this for remote access, we have this for remote desktop services, we have this for IIS. So this is something very important that you have to select so that your application can listen on IIS, right, to the server. Then we have Windows deployment services. So once you're done with selecting all these options, you have to click on next, and it will redirect you to this screen wherein you have to select the .NET framework you would like to have for your application. So by default it will give you I think 3.5, but if it is 4.8 which it shows you on your server, you can select that too. Okay, because we require this framework for the Django's deployment. Okay, WCF services, then we have background intelligent transfer service, right? Then IIS hostable web core. Fine. So all these options you have to select. Just make a note of them while you are seeing this these with this video. Okay, TFT telnet. So telnet client is for passing the telnet command. Fine, for using the telnet command. PowerShell, and then these two things. So once you're done with all this, you can do next, and you can wait for them to get installed on your device. Now once all these things gets installed on your device, what is the next thing? Not on your device but on the Windows IIS server, what is the next thing you have to do? So I have a tutorial opened on my device. um, so this is what I just told you about the setting up of IIS, right? So in case you know you were not able to make a note of what all things I've showed, you can come on this tutorial and you can just check it out. Fine. Now the next thing that you have to do is you have to install Python. Okay, now how to do that? So because I have Python 3.7 on my device, let me show it to you once. So it is Python version that I have to type here. So if you see here, it is 3.10.7 that I have on my Windows IIS server. Okay, so if you want, you can go with this version, or if you have created or developed your application on some other version, you can use that too. So once you're done with downloading the Python file from here, so as you guys know, Python org is the official website. Now from here you can download the latest Python, or else you can come here on this page and download the installer for your Python version. Once you're done with doing that, you have to simply come on your Windows IIS server where you can paste the installer over here. Fine, in the download section or somewhere on the desktop you can paste it. Once you're done with that, you have to run it, and when you will run this, so it will show you a window like this. Okay, it will show you a window like this. So make sure that you tick mark both these checkboxes, or and you have to go with install now option. So what this will do, it will add the path for window Python in your Windows environment variables. Okay, so make sure that both the checkboxes are ticked before you go to the next step. Okay, and that's it. So once you're done with installing Python, you can check its version with the command which I just showed you. After that, when you will be through with setting up the IIS, you'll start seeing this option IIS manager in your this window, search window. So this is the console that we will be checking out, that you will be needing for Django's deployment on Windows IIS server. Okay, so this is what you can see only if you have configured your IIS properly. Okay, fine. What is the next thing? Now, when you will come in C drive, you will be able to see a folder named initpub after you are done with configuring the server manager. Now, in this, you will see a folder named www root, wherein you have to put that folder in which your application code is present. So this is my Django application. Okay, this is my Django project, and these folders contains all the applications which are under this project, and all this thing is present in a folder named chatbot, which I have placed inside www root named folder of Windows IIS server. Fine, so this thing you have to do first. What is the next step? So once you're done with putting this chatbot over here, now you can install VS Code. Okay, and then you can create a virtual environment. Now, how to create a virtual environment over here, that is what I'm going to show you first. So I have to deactivate it first. There is a command python-m, and then we have venv for virtual environment, and then you can type the name of the virtual environment. So env is the name which I've given to my virtual environment. Let me show it to you. This is where env is there. Fine. So once you write this command over here, just execute the enter button, and this folder will get created. Now for activating this folder, you have to simply use this command env. Then we have a folder named scripts, in which we have an script called activate that you have to run for activating the virtual environment. Once you're done with that, you can install all the libraries required for your application to run on a particular device by using this command pip install -r, and then you have this requirements.txt file in which you must be having all these libraries. So you can simply run this command for installing all the libraries in the virtual environment. Now, if you do not have this, okay, so what should you do? So in case you don't have this requirements.txt file, you can also try installing the libraries one by one using this command called pip install, and then the name of the library that you have to use for your application. Let's say you have used pandas, numpy, right? So this is a command that you can use for installing pandas. Then for installing numpy, you can use this command. So what will happen, this will directly go into this virtual environment. Okay, now you have all the libraries in your virtual environment, correct? what is the next step you have to do? You have to install FastCGI. Okay, so basically, when it comes to Ubuntu, we use Nginx, and FastCGI is something that helps in creating a communication link between your Django application and the IIS server. So that is the next thing which you have to do. Now, how you'll do it? Simply type FastCGI install pip command. Okay, so it will give you a command. If it will give you a command like this. So this is the command that you have to fire for installing FastCGI. Okay. Once you are done with installing this FastCGI, what is the next thing? So the next thing is to enable the FastCGI. Okay, and this is the command that you can use for enabling it, because I've already enabled it, so it will show me an error, but it will definitely give me a path that I can use for configuring my IIS. Now if I hit this enter button, if you see on the top, it shows that an error occurred running the command. Why this error has occurred? Because it's already enabled in my virtual environment. Now, when you will do it, you'll not get this error. Instead, you will get paths like this. Okay, no, sorry, not this one. Yeah. So this is what you have to copy, and you can paste it in a notepad file, because this is something very very important that that you will be needing for your Windows configuration file, right, your web config file, and for configuring the parameters required for deploying the application on IIS. Okay, you can simply copy it. Now what has happened, it has created two paths, one for accessing the Python executable and the other for accessing the wfastcgi Python file. So once you enable the FastCGI, what will happen when you'll come here in the IIS manager, in FastCGI settings, you will see a path like this. Okay, so this is what I created initially when I first hosted my application on IIS server. So there is this Python path. When I installed Python, it went to this path, right? And this is where my python.exe file was present. File is present, sorry. Right. Now, what happened is there were some functionalities which didn't work when when I hosted the application using these paths. But same functionalities are now working when I'm using this virtual environment. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm using virtual environment over here. If you also face the same issue, you can also create a virtual environment. Otherwise, this thing is also fine. You see here in arguments, I have the path for wfastcgi.py, and in full path, I have the path of python.exe file, which is present in my virtual environment. Now, once that is done, you have to come on your, Python application, sorry, Django application, and right click over here, come on properties, come on sharing. Okay, and these are the various rights that you have to define. So everyone read and write, IAS, IUSRS, read and write, IUSR, read and write. How you'll do it? So let me show you that too. So you have to come on advanced, sorry, you have to come on sharing, and here you can simply type the rights that you would like to enable on the folder. Click on add, because it's already there, that's the reason it didn't get added. Then you have to come here and simply give read and write access, and then you have to click on share. Next step is to add a site over here. Now how to do that? You have to right click over here and come on add website. Fine. Now this will show you a window like this, okay, wherein you have to type a name like this, okay, and then you have to give the physical path. Now what exactly you have to put here? Let me show that to you. So this is where my Django application is present. I'm going to come on properties, and let us come on security and copy this entire path. Fine, and put it over here. like this. Okay, either you can do it like this or else you can also do it like this. So we have the code present in this chatbot named folder. Simply click on OK and this path will come automatically over here. Right, rest everything will remain as it is. You can simply click on OK and you'll see a site like this will get added. Okay, what is the next thing? The next thing is to do this handler mappings. Come on, add module mapping, and here you're going to see a request path, module, executable, and this name. Now what exactly you have to put here in this, let me show that to you. So I have already created this for my application which I'm going to open. Yeah, so this is what you have to put in this request path. Then module, you have to select FastCGI, right? So when you will open this drop down, you'll be able to find FastCGI module over here. And then you have to copy and paste this path. You remember this path that we copied here in the notepad? You have to simply copy this path first and put it over here like this, and then you can simply put this symbol and copy the path for fast CGI. Okay, now if you are finding it a bit confusing, what you can do, you can simply come over here and then you can click on fast CGI settings, and from here you can simply do an edit, and that's where you'll find these two things. Okay, so you can copy them from here, or else I think in the command prompt also you can find the complete path. So right now, this comma is coming for me, but when you will do it, I don't think that you'll see this comma. In place of this comma, you are going to see this type of symbol. Okay, a standing line, and you can paste the whole thing over here. Then you can give a name. Now you have to come on request restrictions and you have to untick this checkbox. Initially by default this will be tick mark, so you have to uncheck it, and then you have to click on OK. Fine, and then you have to click on OK. So when you click on OK, it will show you a message. Okay, and that's what you have to cancel. Fine, so this is a message which will come, and then you'll have to click on no, don't click on yes. Fine, just click on no and automatically your handler mappings will be configured. Now once you're done with configuring your IIS, the next thing you have to do is to configure your web.config file. So there is this file, which you can see at the bottom. Now, what is the thing which you have to put in this web.config file? That is what I'm going to help you with. So this is the last step, okay, which if you will complete, you'll be able to access your application on any browser outside this IIS server. So this is what you have to put in your web.config file. Let me come on file and then, sorry, it should be view or word wrap. So here for this script processor, you have to put the same path, that I just showed you over here. Let me show it to you again. So if I come on handler mappings and then this path, I'm talking about executable. So this is the path which you have to put for script processor. Okay, this is the whole content. Fine, and then you have to put this app settings also, right? So these are some things that you have to put on IIS as well. Now where you have to put it, let me show that also to you. So once you're done with creating the handler mappings, the next thing that you need to do over here is edit bindings. Sorry, not edit bindings. This will come later on. Where is that? I think I need to double click it first. It will give me these options, and here I have to come on application settings. Okay, so in this application settings, if you see, I have three different things present over here. So the first thing is this Django settings underscore module. Now, why is it chatbot underscore project dot settings? Because my settings file, the settings.py file is present in this folder named chatbot underscore project. That is the reason I have put chatbot underscore project dot settings for Django settings module. Okay, this will tell the IIS server the exact location of the settings file of the Django project. What is the next thing? It's Python path. Where is your Django code present? So this is where my Django code is present. It's inside the chatbot date name directory, present in this directory named www root. Then we have something called WSGI handler. So where have I picked this from? So because it's a Django application, so by default, it will be always django.core.wsgi.get underscore wsgi underscore application. Fine, so this is what you have to add over here, and the same thing you have to add over here also under app settings. So whatever we have defined on IIS, same things we have defined over here too. This is where we have configured the handlers, right? And this is where we have configured the app settings. Once you are done with adding these details in the web.config file, now what is the next thing? Let me show that also to you. Right click, come on edit bindings, and then let me just show you the bindings. So by default it is mapped with port 80. If you have some other website mapped with port 80, you can delete it, and you can map your application with it. This is the HTTPS binding that I've done. So because I've already installed SSL certificate on my device, so this is how I've configured it for accessing, for making it accessible securely on HTTPS on any browser outside the web server. Okay, what is the next thing? Is there anything left? Let me just check. I think I've covered almost everything. Now, in case, now also if you're not able to access your application, what else can be done? So here you'll find, your Python path, users, administrator, app data, local, and then programs, and here you'll find your Python installed. So whatever rights you have enabled on your chatbot, whatever rights I've enabled on my chatbot name directory, right, or the directory in which your application resides, whatever rights you enable on that, same rights you have to enable on this folder also, so that we can make it accessible on HTTPS as well as on IIS. So if you see, I've enabled everyone, then IIS, IUSRS, then we have this IUSR also in place. Okay, once you are done with that, I can guarantee you will be able to access the application like this on the IP address of the server. Let me show you the configuration of the inbound and outbound rules also, which I have defined for my server over here. So here, if you see, these are the rules. Let me come on this page where I can show you, all the rules and everything which are whatever I've defined. So these are the inbound rules. Okay, so if you see, I've enabled the traffic on 443, right? Let me come on edit inbound rules. I think here you will get a better idea. So RDP is there, all TCP is there, HTTP is enabled on all the ports, HTTPS is enabled, custom TCP, all traffic. Okay, so these are the rules which I have as inbound rules on my server. Then if we talk about the outbound rules, let me show that also to you once, so that you don't miss anything and you can successfully deploy your application on the server. Edit outbound rules. These are the various outbound rules which I have defined for my server on AWS. Okay, then what is the last thing you can do in case all these things doesn't work? So here, if you come on firewall, advanced security settings, and you need to come on inbound, then demo is the one which I created. Okay, so what actually we have in this demo, let me show that to you. Properties. So if you see, it is for port number 443. Okay, and basically it's an inbound role, on through which I've enabled the traffic on port number 1443. So you can add it, like this. You have to click on new rule, and then it will show you a window like this. Here you have to select port, then click on next. Here you have to select TCP, then specific port. You can either mention 443 or 80, whatever you want to. Okay, because there is already a rule defined on 443. That's the reason. Let me give 333 as an example, as a just to show you how to do it. Domain, private, public, and finally you have to give a name over here to your rule, and then you have to click on finish. So this is how you can create an inbound rule for allowing the traffic on port number 443 if you are trying to access your application on HTTPS, right? And that's it. I think these are all the steps that you have to follow for making your application accessible on any browser outside the server. That's it from my side. In case you have any issues or any queries related to any of the steps, or you are not able to deploy your application successfully by following these steps, you can let me know about it in the description section below. Share your comments, share your ideas, share your feedback with me, so that I can get motivated, and I can bring for you more videos like this wherein I can teach you these types of things. Okay, and if you face any issues while going through the steps which I've showed in the video, you can also check out this tutorial. So it has everything which you can use for deploying the application on a Django, on a IIS server. All right, but because following this, I was not able to deploy it correctly. There are some things which are missing, and I've covered everything in my tutorial. In case following this also doesn't help you, you can let me know about it in the description section below. That's it from my side in this lecture. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day ahead, guys.